Lindsay Clancy, a former labor and delivery nurse from Duxbury, Massachusetts, is charged with murdering her 3 young children, Cora, Dawson, and Callan, in January 2023. Prosecutors allege the killings were deliberate and calculated. Her defense acknowledges that she caused the children's deaths, but argues that she was suffering from postpartum psychosis and was not criminally responsible. The central question is, was this intentional murder or a catastrophic break from reality? Lindsay Clancy has pleaded not guilty and is presumed innocent unless proven guilty.
Good morning, sir. Attorney Sprague, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Timothy Trapini. Last name is spelled C-H-I-A, P as in Peter, P as in Peter, I-N-I.
Where do you work?
I work for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for the Department of State Police.
How long have you worked for the state police?
I graduated the Academy in March of 2012.
What is your current assignment?
I am currently the unit commander for the Critical Incident Technical Investigations Team.
How long have you been doing that?
Since approximately April of this year.
What was your assignment in January of 2023?
I was assigned to the State Police Detective Unit for the Plymouth County District Attorney's Office.
Do you have specialized training in cell phone forensics?
I do.
And could you describe that, please?
I was initially certified as a Celebrate physical operator and a Celebrate certified operator, Celebrate certified physical analyst in March of 2017.
And are you also trained in gray key and magnet?
I have been trained in gray key examination since August of 2021, and I've been familiar with the forensic program known as Axiom in that course, but I'm not certified in Axiom.
And regarding Celebrate, can you describe that software for us?
Celebrate is a forensic access and acquisition tool for cell phone or mobile device forensic extractions. It also has an analysis component as well.
And were you asked to do a forensic analysis on a cell phone belonging to Lindsay Clancy in 2023? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Celebrate is an access and acquisition tool for mobile device forensics and cell phone extractions. It also has an analysis component for extractions.
And were you asked to do a forensic analysis on a cell phone belonging to Lindsay Clancy in 2023?
I was.
Did you do that?
I did.
And how did you do that?
I performed an advanced logical extraction on the iPhone device belonging to Lindsay Clancy.
Can you tell us what that means in just lay terms that we could all understand?
An advanced logical extraction of an iPhone is essentially an iTunes backup. It is the information or data from the phone that you as a user can see, including images, calls, text messages, browser artifacts, basically everything that the person would see that uses an iPhone.
And is it just making a copy of everything that you could see on that phone?
That's correct.
And what is the analysis portion of, you mentioned you do Celebrate extraction and Celebrate analysis. What's the analysis portion?
In January of 2023, the analysis software would be Celebrate Physical Analyzer. And with that, you can also export a report to be utilized in Celebrate Reader.
So basically, are you just taking someone's phone, making a copy of the data that's on it, and then looking through the data?
That's correct.
Is it an exact copy?
Yes. When the phone is forensically extracted by the Celebrate software, a hash value is created. A hash value is a unique digital fingerprint of the extraction. It's an alphanumeric string of characters, and every time the extraction is opened in the Celebrate software, that hash value is verified. If the data in the extraction is changed by just 1 bit, the hash value would be changed, and the extraction will no longer be valid.
So basically, you look at those numbers, the number chain, to make sure they're the same, and then you know it's an exact copy?
That's correct.
And did you do that in this case?
I did.
And was it an exact copy?
It was.
And are you able on the extraction to change any of the data while you're analyzing it?
No. That would invalidate the hash I can use filters in the analysis to look at particular data that I want, but I can never change the contents of the extraction.
And so when you say use different filters, can you put things in categories to organize it so that, for example, can you put all the photos together and all the text messages together?
The Celebrate Physical Analyzer tool automatically parses the data into various categories, and it processes media, various forms of media, images, videos. It processes different direct communication, whether it be through a web application such as Instagram or the native messaging application on the device known as iMessage. So it parses the information automatically, and you're allowed to look at different categories.
So does it create a report with all the data?
I can create a report from the extraction, and it has all the data contained in the report, and I can filter it based on the parameters that I'm allowed to look at legally.
And when you do that extraction of a phone, do you get everything that's on the phone?
Depending on the type of extraction, I get all the data that's available to me by the forensic tool that I'm using at the time.
So do forensic tools improve over time to allow examiners to get more and more data from phones?
Yes.
So basically, what you were able to get from Ms. Clancy's phone was what the tool you were using at the time was capable of getting at that time?
I performed the most comprehensive extraction type that I was able to do at the time of the examination.
And then there were improvements to that system following what you did that may have allowed other examiners to get more information.
That's correct.
Were you asked to generate some reports about certain sections of the defendant's phone?
I was.
We could pull up the... Could look at the screen, please. Were you able to create a report regarding data on Ms. Clancy's phone from November of 2022 to December of 2022?
Yes.
Can we zoom in on that, please? And could you just explain for us the different columns we're seeing here?
The columns are automatically generated by the software when you create a supplemental report. This is a supplemental report created through the Celebrate Physical Analyzer software analysis tool. When you create the supplemental report, you can stipulate to certain parameters, certain content, certain timeframes based on your investigation. In this case, there are multiple columns at the top reflecting the different types of data, the timestamp for that data, a description in the source file for the data. This is a timeline report, and therefore it reflects those exact columns, and that is predetermined by the software.
So, for example, where it says type, what is that telling us?
That's where Celebrate has parsed the data and categorized it based on the forensic extraction.
So there at number 1, where it says activity sensitive data, what is that?
That would be the data from the health database within the phone.
If there was something in the direction box, what is direction?
Direction could be related to a call incoming to the device or outgoing from the device.
So if one was a phone call, it would say to or from?
I believe the exact categorization would be incoming or outgoing.
Incoming or outgoing, okay. And then the attachment box?
Attachment box would be associated with a message, typically a MMS message or multimedia message. A text message that contains a photo would be listed as an attachment. It could also be associated with an email that has an attachment or some type of transaction on the phone that resulted in something being attributed as an attachment.
And then what about the location box?
If the data source has location information associated with it, then that box would have data filled out. This report is 768 pages, so there's a variety of sources of data within this report.
And what about timestamp? Where it says timestamp, the date and time, is that Eastern Standard Time?
It is. It's UTC -5 as the time of this search warrant, the time frame of this incident occurred in January of 2023. Therefore, the extraction reflects the exact time frame of the time zone of the device at the time of the extraction.
And where it says party, what would be in that column?
Again, this is a timeline report. Therefore, there's a variety of data sources contained within it. There is chats or messages that occur from the user of the device to other people, and those parties would be listed within the chat, otherwise known as a group message.
So if it was a text message, the direction would say incoming or outgoing, and the party would say who the text was to or from?
It would say who the participants are in the conversation.
So if it's one person you're texting, it would have that person's name, but if you're in a group text, it would have all of the names?
Correct.
And then what about the description box?
Description box is based on the database information. It has some information associated with the actual data that was parsed by Celebrate. It also provides the source file. The source file is the database that Celebrate parsed the data from. Everything that you see as far as activity sensor data or any other categorizations, that's done by the software. The software parses that data to make it more readable for the examiner, but everything is associated with an actual database within the device.
And so, for example, where it says source health, that's coming from the health section of the phone?
Specifically the health database, HealthDB.
And where it says source file, Lindsay's, how does that name populate there for source file?
Indicating that it comes from Lindsay's iPhone. That is the name that the software detects from the name of the device when it conducts the extraction.
Where the box for party, if it's a phone call or a text message and it has a person's name in there, say I text you and your name is there, how does that populate? How does your name get into that box? Is it something that the phone gets from incoming information, or is it something that's in my phone?
The tool is only able to take the information that is present on the device at the time. In order for contact to be in a phone, it would have to be entered by the user.
So would it be whatever I name your phone number is what will show up in the party?
Correct.
So if I have, say, my mother's phone number in there and I say mom for her contact information, it will show up as mom?
The software will will display the phone number and the contact name that was detected by the tool from the extraction.
So if I've put a contact in mom and the phone number will show up in mom?
Correct.
Can you search within this PDF?
Yes.
And do you do that by clicking on the search bar there at the top?
Yes, this is Microsoft Edge, and that is the proper method within this application.
And so if we were to search, for example, McLean,
I'm not sure of the spelling.
there we go. Sometimes it takes a second to populate.
It does. It's a large document. It's, as I said, it's 768 pages. So depending on the machine that you're using to conduct your analysis, it could take some time for the document to load.
Okay, and do you use these arrows here up and down to go to each spot that word is located?
Correct. The application, Microsoft Edge, has detected 4 entries for the spelling that is in the search box, and you can navigate to each of those 4 entries by using those arrows.
So, for example, here at message 6951, it says it's an instant message. It's outgoing, meaning it's going out from Lindsay's phone.
That's correct.
It's on December 21st, 2022 at 2:57 p.m., correct?
Yes, Eastern Time.
And then it says from Lindsay owner to Allison, correct?
Yes.
So that indicates that it's a text message from Lindsay to someone named Allison, correct?
Yes, with the corresponding phone number.
And then here where it says more of a general depression mental health program like at McLean Hospital, is that the body of the text message that would have been sent from Lindsay's phone to Allison?
Correct.
And you can search through the PDF for for whatever term you're looking for, whether it be Patrick or medications or anything that you're searching for, it will populate any text messages or searches about those keywords?
Yes.
If we could have the next one, please. Did you also do a report regarding things that were downloaded onto Ms. Clancy's phone?
Yes.
You can look here. Is this that report?
Yes, again, this is a supplemental report created within the physical analyzer analysis tool from Celebrate.
And what is this report showing us?
A singular item from the documents section of the project tree, or otherwise known as the analysis component of Celebrate Physical Analyzer, and it's one single document.
And do you just, this blue hyperlink here at the top, 2022, 10, 12, 15, 28, is that what you click on to access the document?
Yes, when you create a supplemental report within Physical Analyzer, it when it creates the PDF, if it has an attachment associated with it, that attachment will be in a separate folder within the report. That way, when you click on the actual hyperlink, you're brought to the physical document itself.
And for example, in this report, there was a request for medical leave form that was downloaded to the defendant's phone?
Yes.
If we could go to the next one, please. What are we seeing here in this report from December 26, 2022 to January 24th, 2023? Is this the same type of search for any information and data on the phone during that time period?
Again, a timeline report is a chronological report of a sequence of events on the device, and it has the same categories as the previous exhibit. And in here, the first item within the date parameters happens to be a calendar entry.
And so if we go here to page 846 of the document, can you explain for us here, is this web history, website visits that are documented on the phone?
That's one of the categories listed as an artifact. The items shown here on the screen are all associated with web browsing.
And here where we see 10773 and 10774, and they both state, can you treat a sociopath? Those are two entries that have basically the same search term, correct?
Yes.
And that was on January 20th, 2023?
Yes.
And they both say 8:28:29 p.m. So is it possible to do two searches at the same time, like it is displayed there?
The Celebrate Physical Analyzer tool parses the information in ways that the information can be categorized in a multitude of ways. Simply because there is more than one entry does not mean that something was done more than once. It's simply just a category that Celebrate has identified. You could have an item that's in searched items, because that's what the tool has identified as a searched item. Also within web history, as in the search item occurred within the web history. Does not necessarily mean that it was done more than once. It's the job of the examiner to be able to look at the timestamps and the associated databases to determine, is this more than one entry or the same action just categorized in multiple ways.
And when reviewing Ms. Clancy's phone, did you see numerous occasions where it looked like something was searched multiple times, but it all had the same exact timestamp?
That's correct.
And so what you just testified to make sure I'm understanding it, would it be accurate to state that one search could be documented and located in many different areas of the phone?
It could be parsed in multiple ways by the analysis tool.
So basically categorized?
Correct.
So it's one search that's categorized as multiple different things?
That's possible.
And so here, where we had the search at the same exact time down to the second, that appears to be one search for can you treat a sociopath, not two, correct?
Yes.
We can go to the next one, please. Now, this area here, the separate report, is this the notes that were found on Ms. Clancy's phone?
That's correct.
And if we could zoom in on that, please. And it's basically detailed in journal form, correct?
Yes.
Starting October 24th, 2022, and moving down, correct?
The summary portion that you just pointed to is automatically generated by the application when it reads the first few lines of text. The more relevant date is in the column to the left.
So over here where it says created, October 25th, 2022, that's when the note is first created?
That is the date that's detected by the analysis tool from the operating system of the device.
What does modified mean?
That's the date that was detected by the forensic tool and the last time that this note was modified according to the operating system.
Modified mean it was changed in some way?
Yes.
And so if I start a note in my phone on October 25th and I go in there every day and change it, and the last time I change it is November 3rd, will it show every modification or just the last modification?
The only date timestamp that will show is the last modification, unless the forensic tool is able to categorize each time the note was changed. I'm only able to detect the modified timestamp or last modified timestamp and just the entirety of the note.
And excuse me, you don't know how many times this note was modified, correct?
Based on this forensic tool and this artifact, no.
Can you tell what within the note was changed?
I cannot.
So everything could have been the same and maybe a date changed, or there could have just been a date and everything was changed on November 3rd. You just don't know.
There could just been a one character change on the last modified date, but with this forensic tool and this artifact.
What's the date?
November 3rd.
Thank you.
And if we could just scroll down to the October 25th entry. And I would just like you to read this portion of the note. I would read it. I'm sorry, but I'm having some difficulty.
I'm sad and depressed because I am not able to parent my third child like my first. I want to treat any one of my babies like my first, but I know that's not a feasible possibility. I'm sad that I stopped breastfeeding. I feel not as connected with Cal now. I think I sort of resent my other children because they prevent me from treating Cal like my first baby. And I know that's not fair to them. I know that. I was feeling so depressed last evening when Cora and Dawson came home from school. I know it runs off on them, so we had a pretty rough evening. I want to feel love and connection with all my kids. I'm also probably having a bit of an internal conflict because my whole life I wanted to have a lot of kids. I still don't want Cal to be our last, but I have a lot of figuring out to do before I have another. I'm on the fence about starting a new medication for anxiety/depression. I just want to feel happy. I want to be able to relax and take care of my kids. And then when they go to bed at night, I want to deeply relax and hang out with Pat and then fall into a deep sleep for 8 hours, get up, and pour hard into myself for an hour and a half. Cal was so very planned and desired. I want to be able to give him all the love he deserves. I guess that's what it's like to be the third child, though. He's not the first third child to ever exist. I think I know he'll be okay, but it's really hard for me. I hate that he has to put himself to sleep. I'm sad I'm not breastfeeding anymore, but I think deep down these were the right choices.
If you could continue.
As for the sleep training, I needed a baby that slept through the night because I simply do not have the opportunity in my life to catch up on sleep. I just don't. If there was a time for me to nap every day, then that may not have been the case, but there really isn't. When Cal naps, I have to take care of Cora and Dawson. That's just how it is. It feels cruel to me that we did not do that to Cal, but the reality is we did what we had to do. I guess I also feel slightly traumatized by the sleep training, but that feeling was only really present when I was severely sleep deprived and paranoid. I know what we did was the right thing and okay. As for the breastfeeding, it kind of goes hand in hand with the sleep training. Once he started sleeping most of the night, it was then a daily struggle to keep up my milk supply. I was having to take a ton of supplements and constantly think about eating and drinking enough to keep the supply up, and then I was having to think about pumping extra to keep it up, and that was really hard to do with Cora and Dawson around. When I tried to leave Cal to go out with Cora and Dawson, I was stressed about the pumping, and not to mention the fact that Cal was at home and not taking a bottle, so it was a battle of if I should pump or not. I know I did the right thing because I need to be able to leave Cal with someone and get fed. As much as I don't want to leave him, I need to be able to. I need to be able to be present with my other kids. I still really, really want a fourth child, but I need a really good therapist before then. I'm on the fence about starting a new med or not. I want to feel happy, but it would be nice to feel authentically happy and not fake. But I need to feel happier than I did last evening because then I was pretty depressed and not enjoying any of my children. It was really sad. I needed the breastfeeding off of my plate. I'm struggling so hard because I wanted to parent each of my kids like my first, and since I can't, that's depressing to me. This is definitely the root cause of all our problems. Now I feel like I'm not parenting any of my kids the way I want to, and that makes me sad too. But I'm going to try my best today. Things I love doing that help me love and appreciate and enjoy my kids are activities with them. I definitely started having some depression after Cora, but once I started getting up and out with her, I felt much better. I think signing Cal up for baby music class would be a great thing. Maybe Fridays can be my day with him. I've just fallen out of the habit of doing anything fun, anything for myself, anything with Pat, and I need to work on that. On a positive note, I had a great deep night of sleep. I'm terrified of something happening to my kids or doing something wrong to mess up their development. Our generation is inundated with information about every aspect of parenting and everything that go wrong if you don't get it right, and all the scary things happening in the world. It's insane. For the last 5 years, I've just filled my mind with all things parenting, and it's just unhealthy.
Thank you. And so everything that you just read would have been written and filled in by the user, correct?
Correct.
If we could go to the next one. This is another note, is that correct?
That's correct.
And this note, it says it was created December 22nd, 2022, but then it was modified on January 23rd, 2023, correct?
Yes.
And this note here, again, we don't know how many times it was modified. You just know the last date it was modified, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't know what was changed in the note. You just know that something was.
Correct.
Okay. If we could go to the next one. Now, in this report, we're seeing some photographs. Is that correct?
Yes.
And why did you flag these photographs?
The photographs had multiple modification dates relevant to the investigation.
How so?
The photographs have created, modified, and access date that are all the same. However, the metadata indicates a much earlier time.
What is metadata?
Metadata is data about data. An image is data, and with the Cellbrite physical analyzer tool, you're able to see the data about, in this case, an image. Metadata would be the device used to capture the image. It would be potentially, based on the user settings, location data associated with the image, where the image was when it was taken, where the device was when the image was taken. A lot of times it'll tell the size of the image or the type of image file that it is.
And so basically, when you look at the metadata of a photograph, you can tell what device was used to take it and the date that the photograph was taken on?
Correct.
And can you also tell if that photograph has been changed or modified in any way and when it was changed?
Using the forensic tool, I can make inferences based on certain modifications.
And how do you do that?
In this case, the image here is a .jpg. That's the file type of this image. therefore, I know that the image that I'm seeing is created, modified, and accessed on this date. However, it has a capture time of November 2nd, 2022 at 11:27:15 a.m.
And is there something on here that says when it was modified?
Where the cursor is now, it indicates the modification date.
So above it is when it was created, below it is when it's modified? Or no, down here, capture time and the metadata is when it was initially created, correct?
Correct. And you look at the source file, you can see the source file indicates that the image was modified under the component where it says adjustments.
So just for the jurors looking at this report, here in the metadata, capture time is when the photo was taken. Above it, the 1/23/23, that's the date that the picture was changed in some way?
Yes.
And are you able to tell how the photograph was changed?
I can do analysis based on an image and see that an image from its native format was modified.
So basically, if I'm on my phone and looking at photos and I brighten something or I crop something, crop someone out of a photo, that would show it as being modified?
It would show it as being modified, and in this instance, it created a new file, which is why it has the created and modified date being the same.
And so would it be accurate to state that on this type of phone, when you modify a photo, you can change that photo and leave it there changed, or you can create a new image with that changed photo?
Well, with an iOS device, Apple has the capability of taking what's known as a live photo. That's a proprietary name with Apple. But the exact file type is HEIC file. HEIC stands for High Efficiency Image Container. HEIC, or a live photo, is essentially that. It's a container or a burst of images that are taken over a very short period of time. It's a more effective way to store an image file within a device. It takes up less room. It also allows the user to have a multitude of pictures to choose from at a single point in time. If you modify an HEIC image to be a singular photo, you can save it to the file type known as a JPEG or JPG.
So a live photo is one of those photos that's taken, and you see a little movement before it settles into the photo when you look at it?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that an automatic setting on iPhones, that it's set to live and you have to change it if you don't want that feature?
That's correct.
And so if you modify the photo and save that photo, that modified photo is not live?
Correct.
And is that what you saw here? There were a lot of photographs of the children that were accessed and modified in some way?
Yes.
And during what time frame were these photographs accessed and changed?
During the evening hours of January 23rd, 2023.
Okay, if we could go to the next, please. And what is this report displaying?
This is another timeline report with the first event starting January 24th, 2023 at 4 o'clock p.m.
And does it go on January 24th, 2023 from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.?
That's correct. It encompasses everything that would be before that time frame. It appears the last entry is 7:02:01 p.m.
And this would contain all of the things that were done with the phone between 4 and 8 p.m. on January 24th, 2023. Is that correct?
Everything that was detected by the forensic tool based on the extraction type.
Okay. And if we could go to the time frame 4:30 to 4:35. using the tool, we'll search Miralax. Looking here, starting at item 37 at 4:46 p.m., is there a search for Miralax for kids on the phone?
Yes.
And again, we're seeing the search for Miralax for kids, 4:46:55, 4:46:55, the same time over and over again. Is that another example of one search showing up in multiple categories?
Correct. As an examiner, I would be looking at the timestamp and also the category second box in from the left, indicating that the Celebrate software has parsed it in multiple locations.
If you could search 3B. In searching 3B in the document, we see here multiple sources. You could do a search with the number 3. So we see here at 4:43 p.m. on January 24th, a search for the 3V menu, correct?
Yes.
If we could scroll down a little. And again, those are all at the same time, so they indicate one search for the menu?
Yes, and the tools parsed it in multiple categories.
And if we could go back. Was there also a search for an Apple Maps for 3V?
Yes.
And what time was that?
Sorry, there's a glare.
If we could go to 4:13 p.m. And here in Apple Maps, do we see 3V restaurant at 4:13 p.m.?
Yes.
And when you're using a map feature to look up a location, such as Apple Maps, what type of information do you learn when you plug in a location or an address into Apple Maps?
A route preview.
And does that route preview give you a length of time it would take to travel to that location?
Depending on what you indicate as your originating location, yes.
And so if you plug in 3V restaurant to Apple Maps and it maps out a route to get there, does it tell you from your location to 3V how long it would take to get there?
Based on traffic conditions, yes.
Because that changes constantly, correct?
Yes.
So if I open up my Apple Maps and I put in 3V right now from here, at this time, the time it takes to get there might be different than, say, at 6 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
And so if we can go to 4:47 p.m. And here at 4:47 p.m., again, we're seeing the search for kids Miralax, correct?
Yes.
Is there also a visit to a CVS website here at 4:47:04?
Yes, it's categorized in multiple categories within the tool, but it parsed an artifact at that time.
If you could scroll down a little, please, to the phone call, the next phone call, right here. This outgoing phone call at 4:48:21 to 781-585-6581. Did you learn that that was a phone call to the CVS at 189 Summer Street in Kingston?
Yes.
And so that would be an outgoing phone call from the defendant's phone to CVS.
Yes.
Can we go to 4:53 p.m., please? And then there's a message. It says message 80, outgoing from the defendant's phone at 4:53:09 from Lindsay to Patrick Clancy, correct?
Yes.
And it says, any chance you want to do takeout from 3V? I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day, correct?
That's the content of the message.
Is there a response in message 82 from Patrick to Lindsay?
Yes, there is.
And what is the answer?
Yeah.
And then is there a response from Lindsay to Patrick at message 84?
Yes.
And what is that?
Okie dokie.
And then message 86, again from Lindsay to Patrick, does she send him another message?
She does.
And what does that say?
Check the menu when you can.
And then if you can scroll down to the next message, is that message 90 from Patrick to Lindsay asking if Callan just got up.
It is.
And then message number 92, is that from Patrick to Lindsay saying also, what are you getting?
Yes.
And then 94 at 5:06 p.m., is that from Lindsay to Patrick stating, but it was just a short nap in message 96.
Yes.
And then message 97 at 5:06 is 3D menu searched.
Yes.
And that source says Safari. Is that a Safari web search for the 3D menu?
Safari is the default web browser on an iOS device, and iOS stands for iPhone operating system.
So that's a basic search on your iPhone for the 3D menu.
Utilizing the Safari web application, correct.
And then number 98, is that another search for Pedialax?
Correct.
Excuse me. Now, both the search for 3D menu and the search for Pedialax are at 5:06:45. How does that happen, that there are two searches for two different things at the same time?
Can you repeat the question?
So you have in message 97, you have on January 24, 2023 at 5:06:45, a search for 3D menu. Then the same date at the same time, a search for Pedialax.
And what's the question?
How does it happen that you have two searches at the same time?
I would only be able to make an inference from here without having the forensic tool available to me.
And what would the inference be?
That there was more than one tab open.
Okay, so on your phone or a computer, when you're doing web searches, you can have multiple pages open, correct?
Yes.
And you can just click on whatever page you want to open, you can click on and that will open up.
Correct. You can select which tab you want within the Safari application.
Tabs, right? Okay. So, how many tabs can you have open at any one time?
I'm not sure the number, but I've seen iOS devices capable of having more than 30 or 40 tabs open at a time.
So it wouldn't be uncommon or unusual to have at least two open to two different web searches.
No.
Okay. If we could scroll down a little, please. And then we have in 106 and 105, both messages. First 105, we have a web history at 5:06:47, the menu at 3V restaurant, again, the source Safari. And then we have cookies at 5:06:48, .3vrestaurant.com. Can you tell us what the difference between those two are?
They're both from different databases. They're both associated with web browsing. Web history is from the history component of the Safari application. Cookies are installed through web browsing. Through legislation, when you visit a website for the first time, you'll typically be prompted, do you want to allow the website to download cookies onto your device? Cookies downloaded to your device serve a multitude of reasons. One might be that it allows the website or the company to be able to track your activity while on their website, which helps them for marketing and business purposes. Another component of cookies would be to enhance the web browsing experience for a website you go to on a regular basis. It would increase the load time. So it is an artifact that is indicative of web browsing.
And so message 108, again, we have at 5:06:49, we have a message from Patrick to Lindsay saying, oh, okay, is that correct?
Yes.
And then message 112, we have a message from Lindsay to Patrick where she says Mediterranean Power Bowl, correct?
Yes.
And that was at 5:07 p.m. we have message 115 from Patrick to Lindsay at 5:08 p.m. Okay, I'll do scallop and pork belly risotto. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. And then if we could go to 5:10 p.m., the phone call right there. Oh, go back to it. And so we have two phone calls here, one at 5:09 p.m. and one at 5:10 p.m. The first to 508-747-4950, and the other to 508-927-4046. The first one is for 11 seconds, correct?
That's the duration, yes.
And that's noted here above source.
Yes.
And then the second is 47 seconds, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you look into these two phone calls?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall the 508-927-4046 being the number for the 3V restaurant?
Yes.
And if we could scroll down a little bit. Are there further searches at 5:13 p.m., starting at number 128 for Pedialax?
That's correct.
And again, we're seeing that same thing with the same time, but multiple different categories that one search is located in, correct?
Correct. Single artifact, multiple categories that the tool parsed it as.
Can we go to 5:33 p.m., please? Oh, I'm sorry. I stopped there. Thank you. 146, message 146, a message from Lindsay to Patrick at 5:15 p.m., which states Pedialax liquid stool softener, correct?
Yes.
Right. And then at 147, we have 5:33:51 p.m. Is that a phone call from Patrick's phone to Lindsay's phone?
Yes.
And that has zeros in it for duration. Does that indicate the call wasn't answered?
It would be an inference.
And then going down to 150, we have an outgoing call from the defendant's phone to Patrick Clancy for 14 seconds at 5:34 p.m., correct?
Yes.
That means the call lasted approximately 14 seconds.
Correct.
And then the last item there, item 152, that is an incoming call to the defendant's phone from Patrick Clancy, correct?
Yes.
And again, we have zeros here indicating that the call wasn't answered, correct?
It's an inference, yes.
If I could have these reports that I just went over submitted on this disc as the next exhibit.
That may be admitted.
236. Did you also, looking through the defendant's phone, access the information on the calendar portion of the phone?
I did.
And the calendar portion of the phone, does that have different types of data, both populated by the phone itself and Apple, and then items populated by the user?
Yes.
Could you give us an example of something that would be populated by Apple and not the user?
A national holiday such as Christmas Day would be populated by the operating system through the application of Calendar.
And then if I'm using my phone and I'm putting in appointments or parties or things I'm going to, that would be something that the user is putting into the calendar?
Correct.
And did you do a report of all the calendar activity for Lindsay Clancy's phone from August 4th, 2022 to January 31st, 2023?
I did.
If I could have this marked as the next exhibit.
All right, that may be admitted. Ms. Sprague, is this a good time to take the morning break?
I just have one more exhibit to put in, and then I would be done.
That's fine.
Did you, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
Did you also do a report on all the text messages between the defendant's phone and an individual that had been labeled Mommy?
Yes.
And was that for the month of January 2023?
I did.
We move to have these admitted as the next exhibit.
All right, that may be admitted.
I have nothing further.
All right. So why don't we take the morning recess at this time? All right, so members of the jury are going to take a short recess, and then we'll return back to the case.
All right. Please. Wait, please.
All right, we'll be in recess on this matter. Thank you.
All right. All rise. This court is back in session. You may be seated.
All right, counsel, we ready for the jury?
Yeah, thank you. All right. Jurors in. This court's now in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial at Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant and including the 18 jurors.
All right, Mr. Reddington.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Morning.
Morning, sir.
So you are part of the prosecution team that handles the downloads of computers and cell phones and things like that, right?
Specifically mobile devices, sir, not computers.
Mobile devices, okay. And the other gentleman that testified, Pavo, is that his name?
Paveo, sir.
Paveo. And he did the laptops that were found in the office, in the home, right?
Correct. He has those certifications.
Okay. Now, the district attorney had asked you some questions about different searches that you had done on Celebrate and on Axiom. All your searches dealt with Lindsay's cell phone, right?
To clarify, sir, I did no searches on Axiom.
Okay. You did searches on Celebrate.
It's the only forensic tool I use, correct?
All right. And basically, I'm just trying to get a handle on that you and your other brother or sister officers would examine, for example, the computers that were found in Patrick's office in the house, right? You didn't, but the other people did, right?
That's correct.
And then you got the computer, strike that, you got the cell phone that was Lindsay's cell phone, right?
Yes, sir.
And you then did, what's called an advanced logical of Lindsay's phone, is that right?
That's correct.
And what is an advanced logical? What does that mean?
It's an extraction that utilizes the iTunes backup of an iOS device, and it acquires most of the user-facing content, meaning calls, texts, images,
Okay.
browser history.
So you lost me on user-facing. What does that mean?
What the user sees when they're using the phone.
Okay, so like if you pick up a phone and you open it up, then you're interfacing with the phone and you're looking at different things, such as photographs, emails, texts, things like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In addition to Trooper, now Sergeant Paveo, and yourself, there also was another trooper that you were working with, a guy by the name of Rabbit, like Roger Rabbit, right?
Yes, Joseph Rabbit was assigned to the unit at the time.
And he also conducted a search, but he did what's called a full file system extraction, right?
I don't recall.
Okay, what is a full file system extraction as opposed to advanced logical extraction?
A full file system extraction would acquire the databases and information that you cannot see as a user on a device.
I see. So your extraction was done on January 30th, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Rabbit's extraction was done on January 27th, right?
I'm not aware of Trooper Rabbit's extraction.
Did you ever collaborate with him as investigator investigating Lindsay Clancy on this case and talk about what you located or what he located?
I had no discussion with him about the phone extraction.
All right. Is he still working for the state police?
He is.
would you agree with me that the full file extraction actually gets more information than the advanced logical? In other words, Rabbit's extraction would have got more information than you got on your advanced logical.
That's correct.
So one of the things the district attorney had asked you about was in reference to Exhibit 237, and that would be the Sullivan report. Is that correct? Basically, the caption for the extraction on the Sullivan report.
This is a supplemental report that I completed from the physical analyzer software.
Okay. And would that be Sullivan?
Yes.
It says Sullivan. That's why I asked. Looking at Exhibit 237, the second page, that on the very top that I'm looking at here, can you tell me on the right, what is it depicting on the right?
It's
Little box? Yeah, I know that. You see the little box? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to approach you. This here is the exhibit that the district attorney asked you to look at, 237, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. And it's a Sullivan report, right?
It's a supplemental report. Yes.
And that would be the calendar search, right?
The calendar supplemental report. Correct.
Okay. So that means that if Lindsay had appointments anywhere, it would have been, presumably, if she put it in the phone, in her calendar, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you looked at your investigation, directing your attention to the start time, what date are we talking about here?
The start time is August 14th, 2022, midnight. End time would be August 14th, 2022, 11:59 p.m.
Okay. So if you look down to the next one, it says what date?
August 23rd, 2022, 10 a.m.
Okay. And did she make an entry on her computer on that date and time?
She did, sir.
And can you tell me what the entry was?
The subject is 10 a.m. Callan, Kingston, vaccine.
So Callan would be the son. She had it in her phone that he had an appointment to get a vaccine at 10 p.m.?
The time is 10 a.m.
10 a.m., okay. And the next one, what is the next one?
Would you like to know the subject, sir, or the date?
Yeah, sure. Just whatever the date is and then what the subject is.
Okay. The start time is August 23rd, 2022, 5 p.m.
Okay.
The subject of the entry is 9:45, Kingston, Dawson, ear check.
And that would be indicative of an appointment that she had at the pediatrician's office for Dawson's ear check at 9:45 in the morning. Is that correct?
Could be an inference, I'm not sure, but that's the entry.
Okay. Now, looking at Exhibit 235, you can tell me, what is this document?
I recognize it as a screen capture from an Axiom phone extraction.
All right. And you did indicate you were Axiom qualified, right?
I am not, sir. I'm familiar with the program as a result of my training with Great Key. Magna Forensics owns Great Key Technology, and in the training course for Great Key, process extraction using Axiom, but I'm not certified in the software of Axiom.
But you can interpret it. You understand what that shows you. It's just a listing of different activities on the phone, right?
I'm aware of what the screenshot depicts, yes.
All right. Can you tell me see the highlighted one, can you tell us what that is, the date and the time and what it's referencing? Do you need a magnifying glass?
Reference is a website, sir.
And what's the website?
Mail.google.com.
That mail, like M-A-I-L, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does it indicate whose mail it is? Does it show it on the right-hand side of the box?
I can't definitively determine whose mailbox it is.
Okay.
Trooper, I'm going to ask you, make sure you keep your voice up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's pretty much the same thing in the same day. Okay. Can you tell us on that page who signed in under what email?
The artifact is indicating that there is a title with an email.
What's the name?
Sorry. patrickclancy@gmail.com.
So that's fair to say that that would be patrickclancy@gmail.com. That's his email that's signed in on Lindsay's Facebook. Fair to say?
I can't confirm that.
Okay. And when you were going through her phone, is it fair to say that, I mean, there wasn't much in her life that wasn't exposed to the state police and the DA's office and the investigators? I mean, your report initially was 180,000 pages of PDF, right?
It was a very large download, sir.
Does 180,000 sound about right?
It does.
So 180,000 pages on a PDF, you do a number of extractions, and then you get into the one that you were testifying about. The district attorney indicated, or you stated that it was 768 pages of text messages that she had, along with photographs perhaps?
That was a timeline search. The number of items in that report are indicative only of the time frame in which I was utilizing within the software.
Okay. So when you went through her phone, did you come across on a Celebrate report searching for where is the carotid artery?
I don't recall.
Did you come across, might be easier this way. This is a Celebrate report on Lindsay's phone, right? Now, I understand that you might not have been standing next to another cop going through the records and documents on her phone, but on this, you're able to recognize that as being the Celebrate report, right?
It is a Celebrate report, sir.
And it's a Celebrate report for her phone. You can tell by the numbers, right? Maybe this would help a little bit. See this here where it talks about source file and it's got a number, quadruple 08110-0009225E and all the rest of them. That would be her phone, right?
I don't have that number memorized.
Of course not, but it would be in your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Celebrate extraction report?
It would depend on the supplemental report that you have, sir, whether or not that character was displayed.
I don't know whether to look at that. You can help me with that, because this is, we agree, is Lindsay's cell phone. Celebrate extraction report.
This item you have here, sir?
No, I'm sorry, the exhibit.
This is the calendar supplemental report, yes.
For Lindsay, so what's the number? You must have a number that would connect to her phone, like an address, like your home address, but in fact it would be a number, right?
It's a device identifier. It is not presented in this supplemental report.
Okay, where would the device identifier be presented?
It'd be presented in the front page of the initial extraction report.
And that's the 780,000 or whatever it is pages, right? You don't have that here. Certainly 180,000 pages. You don't have that here, right?
No, sir.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Sure. Mr. Barrono for a minute. Did you bring your report today with you? Just the report, not all the exhibits?
No, sir.
So you would agree with me, sir, that one of the concerns as an investigator that you had is things such as looking for buzzwords like suicide, right?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
When you're looking on the target's phone, and out of this whole courtroom, the target would be Lindsay Clancy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you had access to her phone, right?
Yes, sir.
And you all went into it with a search warrant, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were looking for different topics, such as suicide, drugs, killing kids, I imagine, to investigate, right? You had buzzwords.
Yes, sir.
And did you come across, for example, a search that indicates carotid artery?
I don't recall.
Did you come across a search on Safari, how to slit your throat to die?
I don't recall.
Did you come across a search, can you turn airbags off on Kia Sorento?
I don't recall.
Did you know that she had a Kia Sorento?
I did not.
If I approach you with this Celebrate report, sir, does that give you the numbers for what I just went through with these searches?
The universal device identifier is a match.
It is a match, okay.
Yes, between this document in my hand and the ones that you're holding.
So would you agree, what's the first search on the first box?
The value associated with the source file is carotid artery.
And the next box?
How to slit your throat to die.
And the next box?
Can you turn airbags off on Kia Sorento?
And these all came from Lindsay's phone, right?
I can't confirm that.
Well, it's a pretty good inference, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Run right off of these?
If we could just see them at sidebar.
Thank you. And just, thanks. And if I can, just for continuity, sir, looking at what has been marked as Exhibit R, S, and T for identification, not an exhibit yet, the jury would have, but nevertheless, we can question you about it. You do agree with me that the phone identifier numbers are listed here, and they're pretty much the same on these three exhibits, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that would be Lindsay Clancy's phone, right?
I can't confirm that. Yes, sir.
So I've just handed you Exhibit 237, sir. Can you tell me what that exhibit is? The district attorney questioned you about it.
It's a supplemental report that I compiled from the Celebrate software on the calendar application.
Do you have access to what was referred to as the mummy text messages?
Not with this document, sir.
So that document is the calendar that we had already gone through as far as seeing the doctor, 9:45 and 10 o'clock appointments, right?
That's correct.
Sorry. Is the month text of the month.
Exhibit 238.
Exhibit 238, sir, if I may. On the exhibit, sir, this would be captioned the mummy text message thread between Lindsay and her mother. Is that fair to say?
For January of 2023, sir, yes.
Okay, so this search was limited by the police to January of 2023 for the texts between Lindsay and her mother, right?
Correct, sir. It's a filtered supplemental report from Celebrate.
Filtered supplemental report, okay. So who would be, when the jury's looking at these in the jury room, who would be the blue texter? Would it be Lindsay or her mother?
You could just look at the participant delivered status sent from Lindsay owner to mommy. So the green would be from the owner of the phone to the recipient, mommy.
Okay, so green would be Lindsay, blue would be the mother.
That's correct.
All right. Now let me give you Exhibit 238, and just a representative example. I mean, looking through, will you look at September 28th at 6:18 in the morning?
Sir, can you repeat that date?
Yeah, sure. September 28th. Oh, you didn't do, that's right, you didn't do September. You only did January, right?
Sir, this exhibit is just for January of 2023.
Okay, I apologize. Let's jump to January then. Now, let's say January 3rd. 8:35 in the morning. Do you have that?
One moment, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And what did Lindsay say to her mother on January 3rd at 8:35 in the morning?
At 59 seconds, sir.
Yeah.
I'm all right, period. Anxious about meeting with the whole psychiatry team.
How about the next message that she sent at January 3rd at 8:37 in the morning?
In 31 seconds.
Sure.
I'm just worried they won't send me home soon.
Now, do you know, as a police officer working on this case, what she meant, send me home? Do you know where she was on January 3rd?
It would be an inference only, sir.
That's all right. You can infer.
I believe she was in a medical facility.
McLean Hospital.
I recall that hospital being mentioned.
And then on January 8th, sir, at 10:44 in the morning, was there a text from her mother to Lindsay, if you know? 10:44. Where the mother asked, did you sleep good?
1 second, sir. It's cut off by the clip here. 10:44 and 30 seconds a.m.
Yeah.
From mommy to Lindsay. Great. That will be fun. Sleep good last night? ?
And did she respond? She meaning Lindsay?
She did.
What'd she say?
I actually did.
And this was on January 8th, sir?
That's correct.
January 10th, could you pull that up, please, at 9:48 in the morning?
I apologize, sir. Can you repeat the time on the 10th?
9:48 in the morning, beginning with mother asking questions of Lindsay. Still sleeping good? ?
I have a message at 9:48 and 15 seconds from mommy to Lindsay.
Okay, what is that?
Good morning. How are you doing today? ?
And what did she say in response?
Good. Period. At the gym with the kids.
And what was the date? Was that January 10th?
2023, 9:48, 21 seconds a.m.
So do you have January 10th in front of you, not the 23rd?
My correction, sir. January 10th, 2023 at 9:48 and 21 seconds.
All right. And what did the mother ask her?
Nice, still sleeping good.
Did she ask her, are you feeling better during the day? And she said, so far, a little bit.
Would you like me to read that, sir?
Yeah.
At January 10th, 2023, 9:53:01 seconds a.m. Are you feeling any better during the day? From mommy to Lindsay.
And go to January 12th, 11:09 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
What did she say? What did mommy say?
From mommy to Lindsay, January 12th, 2023, 11:09, 32 seconds a.m. Still feeling a little better? ?
And how did she respond? How did Lindsay respond?
A little bit.
And then on January 16th, well, wait a minute. January 14th at 1:05, I think, in the afternoon. Can you pull that one up?
Yes, sir. One moment.
Okay. You recall where it starts as, I'm waiting for the day. And that would be from Lindsay to her mother.
Can you repeat the time one more time, sir?
1:05?
AM or PM?
PM.
And this is on the 14th, sir?
Yes, sir. Yep. January 14th.
I have a message from Lindsay to mommy, January 14th, 2023, 1:05, 13 seconds PM.
Saying?
About the same, period, hanging in there and waiting for the day I wake up and feel me.
So she says, waiting for the day I wake up feeling like me, right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And then on the 16th of January, if you can pull that one up. January 16th at 10:20.
I have a message from Lindsay to mommy, January 16th, 2023, 10:20, 24 seconds a.m.
And what did it say?
It was fun, period, period, period. Cora and Dawson enjoyed, period, period, period.
Now, did it make reference at any point in the text that that was a reference to the Cape Codder? Is that in there at all? Do you see it? It was fun, referring to what was fun, if you know.
Not in this particular message, sir.
Okay. And then continuing on, sir, January 18th, would you agree that she inquired of her mother, or the mother asked, are you starting a new med? She said, I did. I started it two nights ago. And that basically the mother was asking her about her medications and how she felt and how she was doing, right?
One moment, sir. I just have to get to that point.
You know what, that's okay, because it's an exhibit and the jurors are going to have it and they can take a look at it, so that's okay. We're good on that.
Okay, don't answer the question.
No, you don't have to answer it. That's all right.
Okay, sir.
Now, on January 24th, District Attorney asked you about Google searches, Googling 3V restaurant, looking at the distance from the house to 3V restaurant, looking up menus. You recall answering her questions on that?
I do, sir.
And you're familiar also, prior to that, on the same day, that she had taken the baby to a doctor and that Pat texted her and asked basically, you know, how did it work out? Do you recall that?
I recall the doctor's appointment. I don't recall the text.
Do you recall that Lindsay sent a picture of her and her children taken that afternoon?
I recall the snowman photo.
I'm sorry?
I recall the snowman photo.
Okay. And that was on the 24th of January, right?
It was, sir.
Do you recall that Pat texted back and said something like, oh, wow, you're a good mom? Do you recall that?
I don't recall the text.
One of the other searches that you did would be, are you aware that there were searches for medical, such as questions regarding bipolar symptoms, psychosis, can you be in DKA without high blood sugar, page after page after page, trazodone, what is the effect of trazodone, Wellbutrin, how do you feel on trazodone, Ativan addiction, Prozac, Trazone, going on and on and on. You guys saw this on her search on her phone, Celebrate, right?
I recall those searches, sir.
Okay. Could I offer this, Your Honor? This would be medical searches on her phone.
Any objection?
No.
All right, that may be admitted.
Exhibit 239.
Great, thank you.
Do you recall, sir, that there was also a search for schizophrenia? I'll say that.
Not specifically.
Well, if I approach you, sir, and your extraction report, does that refresh your memory that there would be a search on her phone for schizophrenia? See where it says schizophrenia? Right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was the date of that search?
January 19th, 2023, 9:58:01 seconds a.m.
Okay. Put that right here for a minute. How about psychosis? Did she search for psychosis as well?
If I may.
Of course.
There is a keyword search in psychosis and a Google search.
And that would be a keyword search that you said in a Google search on the January 20th?
January 20th, 2023, 8:39 and 0 seconds p.m.
Okay. And then there, was there also a search for Seroquel?
Seroquel is part of a search, yes.
And what was the rest of the search?
On Seroquel, feel like I can't have a conversation.
Okay. And it goes on a number of other inquiries as well, correct? Dealing with Seroquel.
That's correct, sir.
And then further, do you recall that there were a number of pages where she Googled and was inquiring about suicide.
Yes, sir.
And can you tell us when she was Googling suicide?
December 29th, 2022, 1:02:14 seconds p.m.
And would you agree that she also Googled on a number of occasions sleep?
Sleep is one keyword and part of a Google search, correct?
And then there's a number of pages that are attached to that dealing with the search for sleep, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And do you know the time frame that we're talking about from the Celebrate search?
Multiple entries, sir. Majority of them are in January of 2023.
Okay. Also, a much larger package of searches for trazodone. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Trazodone is one keyword as part of multiple Google searches.
Okay. Zoloft?
Correct.
What's the time frame?
If I may just remove this, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Earliest entry is December 31st, 2022, 4:07:48 seconds p.m. Last entry, all on the same date, December 31st, 2022, 7:06:39 seconds p.m.
Okay. She also, on her phone, is a search for benzo withdrawals, right?
Yes, sir. Benzo is listed as a keyword as part of another search.
Also, after benzo, it says withdrawals, right?
Correct.
And what's the time frame for that, please?
January 20th, 2023, 8:11:57 seconds p.m.
Okay, thank you. And also a search for Wellbutrin.
Yes, sir. Wellbutrin is a keyword as part of a Google search.
Does it say what the time frame is?
It does.
What is it?
January 16th, 2023, 9:14:47 seconds a.m.
Okay. And a search for McLean.
Correct, sir. McLean is part of a keyword of a Google search.
What's the time frame?
December 29th, 2022, 8:52:37 seconds a.m.
Is there also a search for insomnia?
Yes, sir. Insomnia is part of a keyword of a Google search.
What's the time frame?
December 31st, 2022, 7:12:58 seconds p.m.
That's December 21st, did you say? 31st.
December 31st, 2022, sir.
And is there a search for keyword ketamine? K-E-T-A-M-I-N-E.
Yes, sir. Ketamine is part of a Google search. It's a keyword within the Google search.
What's the time frame?
For this entry, January 20th, 2023, 8:39:0 seconds p.m.
There's also a search pulled up on Celebrate for Lamictal.
Yes, the word Lamictal is part of a Google search.
And what's the time frame?
January 16th, 2023, 9:23:13 seconds a.m.
Okay. Was there also a keyword search for postpartum and Google searches for postpartum depression and various aspects of postpartum?
Yes, sir.
And what's the time frame for us?
They all occur within January of 2023, with the earliest date being the 11th of January 2023 and proceeding all the way to the 19th of January 2023.
And keyword benzo. Right on the Celebrate report for Lindsay's cell phone.
It is, sir.
Can you tell us what the time frame is?
Sir, would you like it for the first entry or all the
Just
entries?
give me the idea, like, for, the bracket, starting on when, ending on when. We don't have to go through all of them.
The earliest entry appears to be December 6th, 2022, 9:17:05 seconds a.m., with the last entry being January 20th, 2023, 8:13:48 seconds p.m.
And search for bipolar. That was on her phone?
Keyword bipolar is part of a Google search, correct?
Bracketed in. What's the time that it started and when did it end?
The earliest entry is from this report is December 29th, 2022, 9 a.m., 37 seconds. And the last entry is January 13th, 2023, 1:38:42 seconds p.m.
And clonazepam was a search as well, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And can you just give me an idea, what's the time frame on that?
All of the searches in this report indicate January 18th, 2023, in the morning hours from 11:26 a.m. to 11:27 a.m.
Okay. And the next one would be Ativan. You see where it says Ativan? What's the first? Just give me the first month. What's the stat search for Ativan?
The earliest time frame, sir? December 31st, 2022, 7:06:30 seconds p.m.
Okay. Next one would be amitriptyline, correct?
I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but it appears to be that way.
Okay. And when was the amitriptyline search? When did it start? When did it end?
January 16th, 2023, 11:01:28 seconds a.m., with the last entry being January 23rd, 2023, 8:17:58 seconds p.m.
And then on January 20th, 2023, was she searching intrusive?
That's correct.
Okay. And then finally, sir, on January 19th of 2023, was she searching hallucinations?
Yes, sir. 10:33:49 seconds a.m.
Sir, I would offer these.
I could just look them over.
Sure, yeah.
You're welcome, sir.
No objection.
Okay, those may be admitted. Do you want to admit it's individual?
All one? Is one individual or all one? I don't care.
Why don't we do that? I hate to do this to you. Why don't we do it individually? Just might be easier down the road.
Okay.
so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize, I neglected to ask about this Celebrate extraction report from Lindsay's phone. This, if you agree with me, is another extraction search on her phone.
Yes, sir. It's a supplemental report for searched items.
And looking at that, if you can, basically there are a number of search terms in there, such as pre-made goodie bags, and that would have been on December 31st, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what's the next one underneath that that would be on December 31st?
Child with bloated belly and lethargy.
How about the next one on December 31st?
Children's Motrin stores.
What about the next one on the 31st?
Children's Motrin.
Next one.
Is children's Tylenol the same as infants?
Next one.
6-month-old whale windows.
That would be WALE, whatever that means.
Yes, sir.
Month-old. Okay. Next one.
Earth's best organic baby food.
Next one.
Earth's best organic infant.
Next one.
Earth's best organic infant formula.
Next one.
Nova Plymouth, NOVA.
Next one.
Best kids movies.
Next one.
Nova Trampoline Lark.
Next one.
Unicorn Picture.
Next one, if you can.
Yes, sir. Unicorn Picture Free Coloring.
Just read them right down. Just
Yes, sir.
Just rip right through it.
Paw Patrol saves, I'll spell it, Paw Patrol saves the MEREKR, Twin Girls Bed, Cape Cod Resort, How Much Formula for 8 MINTH, Chuck E. Cheese, Children's Motrin stores, ADC Temple Touch Thermometer.
Can I just interrupt you?
Yes,
what
sir.
do we have to for date right now?
The last item I read was ADC Temple Touch Thermometer, sir, and the date was January 17th, 2023, time 2:19:03 seconds p.m.
Okay. I just want to get a frame on the time. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Finish that up.
8-month milestones. Fluffy slime recipe. UTI symptoms children. Kids Miralax for kids.
And what was the date on that?
The last date on the page for Miralax for kids, January 24th, 2023, 4:47:31 seconds p.m.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish these three more.
Yes, sir. CVS Pharmacy, Pedialax.
Thank you, sir. I'd offer this, Judge.
All right, that may be admitted. Yeah, 261. That's
And then finally, sir, approaching you with, like it would be a report. You can recognize that document, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. And what is that? It doesn't have the thing, the header on the top of it, that's all.
It's a supplemental report, sir, and appears to be text messages.
Okay. Are you able to know when the photograph of the two kids and the snowman was sent to Pat by Lindsay? Do you know when? Was it on the 24th? If you know.
I would have to look at the extraction.
So, understanding jury would be able to be looking at the photo and has a little history. If we look at this report, you see where it says Lindsay owner, and then over here it says Cutie.
Yes, sir.
So is that from Pat to Lindsay?
That's correct.
And what's the date and the time?
January 24th, 2023, 8:19:45 seconds a.m.
Okay. And what's the next one that you see? And just say to us, like, it's Pat to Lindsay or Lindsay to Pat, and what is the message? You don't have to go through all the numbers.
Yes, sir. Next item, do you want me to read the date, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Next item, January 24th, 2023, 8:36:17 seconds a.m. Lindsay to Pat, loved an image, which is a reflection that someone used the feature within iMessage to like an image.
Like an image, like a photograph, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Yep. What else?
Want me to keep going?
Sure.
January 24th, 2023, 8:42, 16 seconds a.m. From Patrick to Lindsay, how's it going?
And you know what? If it's the same date, rather than taking the time, just go right down and read the messages. That would
Received, sir.
The time frame.
The date is the same for all the messages.
Okay,
From Patrick to Lindsay, how's it going? Lindsay to Patrick, good. Lindsay to Patrick, okay, her urine looked good, so nothing going wrong with her kidneys, phew. Patrick to Lindsay, good, with a smiley face. Lindsay to Patrick, no message content. Patrick to Lindsay, oh wow. Patrick to Lindsay, you're a good mama. Lindsay to Patrick, smiley face with hearts. Lindsay to Patrick, blank. Patrick to Lindsay, laughed at an image. Lindsay to Patrick, any chance you want to do takeout from 3V, period, period, period. I didn't cook anything, period, period, period. It's been a long day. Smiley face. Patrick to Lindsay, yeah, smiley face. Lindsay to Patrick, okie dokie, smiley face.
okay. I'd offer that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, these text messages are already in evidence as Exhibit 23.
This.
I'll allow that. Thank you. Mike.
Finally, District Attorney spent some time asking you about modifications to a photograph, and I think it was of the little baby. You recall that line of questioning?
Yes, sir.
What did that mean? Does that mean that someone, or Lindsay or someone on her phone, changed the photograph of the little baby? Is that what that means?
It means that the photo was edited in some fashion.
So that could be like coloring?
It could be a variety of things.
Like what?
As I indicated in my earlier testimony, it could be that someone took a live photo, and instead of having it be a live photo, which is a multiple burst of images, they took it down to just a single photo.
Okay. Anything else that can be modified?
Multiple things, but from the extraction, that's the only thing I was able to determine.
So you weren't involved in the search of the Clancy house on the 24th, 25th, were you?
No, sir.
Were you aware that there are photographs of the kids hanging in virtually every room, kitchen, living room, bedrooms? Did you know that as an investigator on this case?
Sir, I was not involved in the search.
You know that there were dozens and dozens of photograph albums of little babies that were all over the house. Did you know that?
I was not aware of that, sir.
Thank you.
Commonwealth redirect?
Thank you. All of the exhibits that defense counsel just put in about the searches for psychosis or certain drugs, are those all available in the disc exhibit 236 in some of those reports where you can search the word and all of those mentions will come up?
Yes.
Sir, on exhibit 258. Thank you. The search is about psychosis. Some of those searches were for psychosis symptoms on January 19, 2023. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the person using the phone, looking it up, was looking up to find out what the symptoms of someone would be experiencing if they had psychosis, correct?
It's a keyword search for psychosis symptoms.
You were asked some questions about the chats between Lindsay and her mother in Exhibit 238, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a text message from her mother to Lindsay on January 19th, 2023, which states, "I'll bring it Saturday. Never know what treasures I'll find in the attic," correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Seeming to indicate that her mother is going to visit her that Saturday, correct? From the text message content.
It's an inference.
Was there also a text message from Lindsay's mother to Lindsay on January 22nd, which would have 2023, which would have been the Sunday after the Saturday visit, in which her mother says, "Enjoyed seeing everyone this weekend. Nice to see you doing better."
That's correct.
I have nothing further.
All right. Mr. Rankin?
Just very briefly, kind of like a housekeeping thing, if I could, Judge. I'm approaching you with text messages. Would you agree with me, again, that this came off of Lindsay's phone, and it would be text messages between Patrick Clancy and Lindsay? Kind of flip through them all. Trust me, one of the others.
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Okay. And then finally, I'm handing you, again, extractions from Lindsay's phone that you can flip through them if you wish, would be between Lindsay and Sue Clancy, her mother-in-law, Patrick's mother. It says Sue Clancy.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. I'd offer these to you, Your Honor.
Objection.
All right, if I can see counsel sidebar.
It's UND for identification.
Right. So that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
All right. Attorney Sprague, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
Thank you.